Good afternoon and welcome to your Reader's Retreat. And this is the top 10 books I want to read that during my uh, 100 book challenge or read what you own challenge or whatever you're going to call it. I am going for 100 books. And so far I have read three. So I got 10 books here, right here, that I'm going to show that I want to get read during this. So anyway, let's get started, shall we? As soon as I get me a drink of coffee. The first one, I mean, these books I've had for at least a couple of years, if not longer. I've had these for a while. And one of them is Stories of the Golden West. This is book six. I can't find the rest of them, but I'm still on I'm still on the lookout for the rest of them. But uh, I need to get that read. Another one I need to get read is Graving Images by Nancy Mehl, or however you pronounce that, Mehl. And I've had this for a while. But this is about a 4-year-old witnessing uh, her mother's murder. So that's what this is. And well, let me read a little bit of it. Kylie Jo McAllister was only 4 years old when she witnessed her mother her mother's murder. Though intensive counseling and the capture and conviction of the killer, the past has finally been buried. Or has it? A nightmare she had as a child comes back, bringing with it a disturbing message. What does it mean? Could the man who died in prison, condemned of the crime, have been wrongly accused? Is the murderer still free? And is Callie destined to suffer the same fate as her mother? So that's what that is. Now, this here is I mean, I've had this, I don't know how long. I really don't. Uh, Stephanie Madison's Murder on High. And it's a mystery. And it doesn't really say, don't really give a synopsis. Uh, and back here, it gives you other stuff for her other books instead of this one. But this one here on the front says the national best-selling series from the author of Murder at the Falls. So there you go. Another one that's been on my TBR list for a while, I know about 4 or 5 years, is John Soule's The Devil's Labyrinth. It seems like every time I try to go to this one, something else pops up get and I never get to it. So I'd like to get this one done. Another one that I'd like to get done is Go and Bury Your Dead by Bill Brooks. It's John Henry. Uh, it's a John Henry Cole story, and the way I get it, he's probably a detective back in the West. John Henry Cole's life has quieted it down. He can devote himself to making improvements on his small ranch, and prospects for the future look look better than ever. Then everything changes. When an old rancher named Wilson rides in with his two sons, Wilson needs Cole's help. His wife has been taken hostage by Lucky Jack Dancer, and the outlaw wants $5,000 ransom for her. The Pinkerton detective Wilson sent with the ransom money has been found dead, and the ransom money is gone. Now Wilson wants Cole to guide him and his sons to Guntown and arrange for the release of his wife. Cole sighted the Lucky Jack dancer years before when both of them operated as U.S. Marshals. In the Indian nations, before Lucky Jack quit the service and became an outlaw, Cole thinks he just might be the man for the job. But the situation becomes complicated when he learns that neither of Wilson's sons wants the woman back and that Wilson's health is seriously compromised. John Henry Cole may well end up having to go it alone against Lucky Jack. Go and bury your dead. And another one, I'm going to call this a cozy mystery because to me it is. It's a Benny Harper mystery. It's Kansas Trebles by Erling Fowler. Uh, so it's Kansas Trebles, like I said, and it seems like it's going to be a good book. After a whirlwind marriage to Gab Ortiz, and including prediction that the sassy blonde and stone-faced cop may kill each other before their first anniversary, Benny visits his hometown near Wichita. At a rowdy backup barbecue, she meets Tyler. Yeah, she meets Tyler Brown, an aspiring country singer with a promising future and a fascinating past. Once Tyler lived a simple Amish life as Ruth Stoltzfus. I'm sorry if I ruined that name. After leaving behind a stubborn husband and being shunned by an entire community, she's determined to make it on her own, selling her exquisite handmade quilts to get by. But her gifts of her life are cut short when she's murdered. Out of the jurisdiction, Gabe is frustrated to sit on the sidelines while his friends are investigated and furious that it's Benny doing the investigating. So, Kansas Treble. Another one that I've had for a few years is Brendan Deneen's The Chrysalis. And on the front, it just says, "Don't go in the basement." Down here, it says, "Creepy, Powerful, Wonderful, Twisted" by Jonathan Mayberry. So, The Chrysalis is something. Uh, Barely employed millennials, Tom and Jenny Decker have to grow up fast when they lose their cheap Manhattan apartment. Leaving the city is hard, but the blow is softened when they stumble upon a surprisingly affordable house in the suburbs. For Tom, the bills, the mortgage, and Jenny's unexpected pregnancy add up to terror. He's not ready for this kind of responsibility. Then he finds the thing in the basement. It makes him feel like a winner, even as it scrambles his senses. A new job soon has him ranking in the bucks, enough that Jenny can start making her in, entrepreneurial dreams come true. The Decker's dream home conceals more than one deadly secret. As Tom's obsession with the basement grows, Jenny realizes that that to save her family, she must expose everything before it destroys them all. So that sounds awesome. Then we have this one, and it's from P.T. Durham, uh, and Sentinels of Fire. It looks like a war book, and it sounds pretty good too. By the spring of 1945, the once mighty Japanese fleet has been virtually destroyed, leaving Japan open to invasion. Japan responds by dispatching hundreds of suicide bombers against the Allied fleet surrounded Okinawa. Patrolling miles off the coast, the USS Mallory is part of a squadron of ships assigned to warn the carrier of formation closer to the island of impending kamikaze attack. Executive Officer Connie Miles begins to realize that Malloy's much admired Captain Talmadge is losing his mind under the relentless pressure of the attacks. Facing multiple kamikaze and torpedo assaults each day, and watching their squadron diminish as ship after ship is destroyed, Miles and the ship's junior officer grappled with the consequences of losing their skipper's guidance and perhaps the ship itself and everyone on board. So that's what that is. And then we have this one. This is probably the newest one of all of them I have, but I still want to get this read. It's by Nick Montas, and it's a Sabbath, and I've read what this is many times. The synopsis, anyway, and but I still need to get it off the shelf. And this here is the first book of the Paradise novels by Ted Dekker. It's Showdown. I've had this for, I couldn't tell you how long I've had this series. I've had all three books and I still never read them. That's no excuse. That's just not going to them. I am going to Showdown during this read of what you own. Okay, that's the 10 books, and I hope you all enjoyed it. And I will be seeing everybody later. And always remember, keep your imaginations working.